What's up guys? Been a while since I posted, but I'm going to actually be installing Haltech on my CRX. You do have the option with Haltech to get the plug and play kit, which just basically has a little plug and play deal that goes from the Haltech to like a jumper harness into your OEM harness. My OEM harness was old, it's been cut up, torn into, so I just wanted to start fresh. So I got their wire-in harness, which is pretty straightforward, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. This might be a how-to video. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of how I go at it, but maybe I can answer some questions that I had myself that I kind of reached out to Haltech and talked back and forth. But yeah, they have great customer service. Any question you have, they give you a really good answer, not just a quick answer, so you understand what you're doing. It's really, really good. So I'm going to use what I've been told by them on a few things on here and just wire this thing in and maybe do a step-by-step and how I plan on doing it. Make it a little bit of a tuck harness while I'm at it, clean it up, even though the engine bay is, it's rough. It's pretty rough. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay everything out and just kind of show you how I plan on going about this. I have already done one harness, the Mega Squirt harness for the Subaru. And I will just say, going through both harnesses, the Mega Squirt versus the Haltech. With the Haltech, I have the integrated fuse box. On the Subaru, I actually had to make like a fuse and relay panel and everything. And already this kit is a night and day different. This is super, super straightforward. Every wire is brand free. You don't have to run any of your own power. Okay, you have to run your own power just for your coils. If you're going coil, if you're going distributor on like a B series, then you just run everything to the distributor and you are good. You don't have anything else to run. So I'm going coil, I'm gonna have to run just some short run power wires and a couple of grounds and everything else in the harness. Whereas when I was in the Mega Squirt, I had to run my own everything basically, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing I guess, but this one's definitely a lot more user friendly, I would say. And I actually have plans on switching the Subaru to Haltech also. So maybe when that comes around, we'll do another wire in on how I'm going to use the same premium harness to wire in the WRX and put it on Haltech as well. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing in here, start running things out and showing you how I plan on doing it. Alright guys, so what I did was I just ran the harness through a hole in the firewall, and it comes with a nice grommet. And if you know CRXs, you know this hole right here is actually oval, not round. But I plan on using something to kind of seal the bottom of this hole, so that's where the harness is going to come through. And I chose this lower hole down there because I want to kind of tuck it away and make the harness look clean as possible. Just show you the inside real quick. I have a lot of stuff torn apart in here too with the other wiring that'll be coming out as I go through it. But I wanted to get the Haltech stuff in here. So, kind of hard to see, but it's really hard to see. Do I have a light on me? It's kind of a light. Okay, so, got a light in here now. So all I did was run it up and through there. Get my flashlight in here. But there's some wires that stay in here because some of these, actually all of these, are going to be going to internal controls in the car, inputs and stuff into Haltech. So those don't need to go in the engine bay. That cluster over there is actually extra powers and stuff that I'm just going to tuck away in case I need them in the future. So other than that, just comes in here, plugs are sitting here, with the wiring harness, and then the fuse box right here that I'll figure out a place in here to mount. Find a place for the ECU to mount, and that'll be all clean. And then yeah, now it's time to just get all the wire links done in the engine bay and get that pinned and loomed. Oh yeah, I bought all brand new connectors too, OEM connectors for this harness, because if I'm going brand new harness, might as well go all the way brand new everything and not reuse I have tons of old connectors, but thought I'd just go brand new on everything. Alright guys, so got most of it ran. I thought I had my time lapse going and I did not, so I was gonna go over it real quick. And so what we have right here, these wires right here are just gonna go to the battery, to ground. Nicely, they're ready to get loomed. This is going to go to a relay to control the thermo fans. I have a relay sitting right over here. So these two right here are going to run are the shielded wires for the two pickups in here I'm going to need for RPM and basically home for syncing the engine. I'd like to eventually run the actual crank sensor for home and then the cam sensor just for the home pickup. But then moving down here we have ground wires going to the thermostat housing. Those grounds are for our coil packs. And right here I have all these ready to get loomed and get their pins and their connectors on them. Then down here, same thing, our injectors. They're all ran to where they need to go, ready to get loomed, pinned and everything, ready to go. There's actually a lot going on under the intake manifold. I actually have the NOx sensor under there, the alternator running their wires there. I have the a flex fuel sensor going in over here, so I have those wires running underneath and they'll get a connector and clip in up there. I'm actually running the IAT over here instead of running the IAT over here. In the past, I actually had problems with high intake temps. With this one, I don't know if it was just the manifold heating up and not actually capturing air temperature and getting just the temperature of it heating up. But ever since I went to a intake air temp back here, I've had zero issues and it works great. And I believe these style are actually faster responding than those. So I have the wires back here, ready to get loomed, pinned, and that'll go there. Obviously we have our coolant temp down here. We have our VTEC right here. All those wires are ready to go. I kind of like used a little bit of tape to secure everything where everything's gonna split off. So when I loom it, I know where things are gonna split and where those T junctions need to be. Obviously TPS, map on these K-tuned throttle bodies is underneath. So that's ready to go. Idle air control, everything's ready to go basically. I don't think I missed anything. I'm just doing a quick once over. Oh, boost solenoid is actually gonna be mounted. Back here, I actually pull my turbo pressure reference off the manifold. Some people run it off the turbo, but I like running off the manifold itself. Other than that, I think that's everything. And then next is we're gonna have to go into the cabin and run all those wires to where they need to go and basically tidy it up like this so it's ready to get loomed too. And all of it will be nice when it goes in and plugs in. But for now, I'm actually gonna pull the harness out of the car and loom and pin this end of the harness. If this end is done, it'll go in and then we can do the in-cabin stuff. The harness will come out one last time to get that loomed and then it'll be done and ready to go in and be in for good. While I'm looming it, I have my laptop over here. I'll pull up Haltech and I'll show you the wiring diagram and how you can like set your own outputs to do what you need. And then it shows you like a really nice input output almost wire diagram, so you remember what wires you assign to what, and it's just really easy to like have that out in front of you and then start running all your wires, and then that way you know what you signed for what function is correct and you didn't run something wrong or what have you. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this all out of the car, lay it out on here, clear this off and get it loomed. And I also, I don't know if I showed this, but I also got this looming right here. It's actually pretty nice. It all came from Haltech. It's not bad. It's like 30 bucks for like a whole pack that comes with all this looming that's in this nice like fabric style tape. So, and like heat shrink, all kinds of heat shrink, zip ties. I don't know, like I priced this stuff right here by itself and it seems like just buying this from Haltech, which is like the best way to go. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the harness out, get it laid on the table right here, and we'll go ahead and loom it and get that end ready, and that way you'll see the end result of what it looks like after you take your time to do all this. This part is like tedious and it looks kind of ugly right now, but once it's loomed and everything is separated like it needs to be, it'll look really nice like it should. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this harness out real quick and we'll get on the bench. Alright guys, I thought I'd show you the connectors real quick. Here they are, all brand new, and yeah, they are not from Honda. They're from a company called Corsa Technica, but they are, the manufacturer of them is the same manufacturer as the OEM Honda. So they are pretty much probably who Honda sourced their stuff through is the Sumitomo. So yeah, got all those. they're on their website. If you're wanting to actually buy from them, they don't actually have it to where you can search by like year, make, model. They're a little more vague than that. You have to know like the name brand, so Sumitomo, and then you have to find the actual one you're looking for. If you want, I can kind of just do like a quick. So here's TPS. That's the number. Here's VTech. That little green pin for VTech. There's that one. So yeah, these aren't actually Honda right here. These are actually, I mean, they're still a Sumitomo brand if you're wanting to use them for anything, but I got them because there's the 2-pin connector for my boost control solenoid. I wanted to make it to where I could easily plug it in and unplug it, and that way it's just easy to take care of down the road. These are like EV1 or EV6 style. They're the ones for like injector dynamics injectors, which I have. Here's the alternator plug. It's hard to see with the reflection in it. There you go. Here is the distributor, the big pin. I just need it for a couple of wires. So I got a new one of those. Here's coil packs. And then these guys you see everywhere over the OBD1 at least harnesses are these little 2-pin guys. And there you go. So if you need any of those, I mean, I guess that's something you can look at real quick. And yeah, these are really nice. I've used them before, so I'm gonna go with them again and get this harness looking good. Alright guys, so I got the loom done. I think the camera died on me while I was doing that, but here is the loom pretty much finished. Everything, all the connectors are on here. I'm only missing a couple. This one's going to run to a relay for the radiator fan, so once I get that in location, I'll go ahead and loom that one up. And the only other one I think I didn't do is this one right here. So my flex fuel, I just didn't receive the connector yet, so it's on its way. Once it comes in, it'll get pinned and done. But other than that, the whole engine bay side of the harness is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it back in the car. All we have left is just the wires that need to go to some of the interior stuff right here, and then that's it. And like I said, this bunch right here, this is just extra sensor grounds and 12-volt sources. I'm setting them to the side just in case I need them later. But next is to get all this ran. But for now, I think I'm going to get all this in the car, power the Haltech, and make sure I'm getting all my sensor readings in the Haltech software, and then we'll just go from there. Alright guys, it's actually a different day since that last clip. I went to start the car, crank it over, make sure all my sensors were reading and verifying correctly. And I kept losing my cam signal when I was trying to start. So tried a bunch of things. And these, the factory distributor uses a reluctor style sensor for the pickups on those. I guess those can be pretty finicky, and I mean, mine are, it's an original distributor, so maybe mine were, I was having issues with the distributor, I thought a while back, with RPM losing it every now and then with the S300, but it kind of went away, so I didn't think much of it. But I guess it actually was an issue because Haltech couldn't even get cam sync. So what I ended up doing was going to a Hall effect sensor for the cam signal, and I left just the distributor for the crank signal, or like the RPM, and that seems to be fine, like reading perfectly, no issues. It's just the cam signal, the TDC reading. So what I did was just mounted a Hall effect sensor here. There's a magnet on one of my bolts here, which are on there somewhere. There's the magnet for the pickup, It's high strength epoxied on there, and it's not going anywhere. Put this on here and check for signal after cranking, and had perfect signal for the cam signal, so pretty sure it'll start right up. So we're gonna go ahead and try that real quick, and then we're gonna make sure everything's reading, and yeah, the car will be basically on Haltech at that point. It's on Haltech now. So let's do that real quick, see if we actually get a start. Alright guys, we're in the car, got the garage open, see if it starts. So got the key turned on, and I was actually, so I know it's a mess down there, but it's actually wiring up some of the more of the race features from the ECU. For example, this is normally the windshield washer fluid, and on the Haltech now, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's the rolling anti-lag. If I pull that lever, it engages it. So yeah, I'm just trying to use some factory little switches and stuff like that, just to make it easier while I'm driving, just to pull this for rolling anti-lag and let go, and we're good to go. But anyway, time to see if she starts. Alright, so it looks like she starts up. She's got a little bit of a surge, probably in the fuel map or something, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. But actually it fires up now, which is pretty great. I noticed though, when I had it on, my wideband wasn't actually reading, so I'm going to have to figure out the connection on that. Alright guys, so more fiddling around with the wiring on my wideband, and right there, that lower number is my wideband. Key on. She is reading pretty much perfect. So here was my issue with it not reading. Kind of a dumb mistake, but I guess anybody could make it. So this isn't the wire. I actually have the wire connected right now, but this is another wire like it. These are shielded wires. So when you have a shielded wire, you actually have like a copper shielding that goes around the actual wire on the inside. And that, hard to focus, there we go. See that? And that copper wire right here on the inside is actually grounded to help interference on shielded wiring. Well, I wasn't thinking, and I just stripped it like this, like you would think a normal wire, and I tried to attach to this. Well, that's just grounded to the ECU and does not give a signal, so that's why I had no signal. As soon as I peeled that back and actually attached it appropriately, everything reads. And actually when I started up, we lost the surging issue. It actually just idles. It uses the self-learn and the adjustments to hit target idle, and it idles like it should. So yeah, when you're doing something like this, things like that are super easy to overlook, and I very much overlook that. But everything's running actually much better. So now the plan is to get a lot of my other wiring done. That are going to be the other functions. I think I have one for data logging, so I can actually have an unused switch on here that I'm actually going to use just when I toggle it. It's an OEM switch, so it'll look like nothing out of the ordinary, and that'll trigger data logging, so I can just data log on the fly without the laptop if I don't have it with me, or whatever. I can hit the button, grab a data log if it's running weird or whatever. If you're at the track, don't have to have the laptop with me, hit the button, have a data log, and we're good to go. Also flat foot shifting, I'm going to hook that up to the clutch and have that good to go. So what I'm going to end up doing actually is, once I get all of these wires ran where they need to go, I'm actually going to cut them and add a connector in. That way I can actually disconnect the ECU from my dash into the harness. That way if it ever needs to come out for any reason, it's not completely hardwired into the car. I can still pull it out of the car if I need to. So I'm going to get all that ran and tucked away. I actually kind of want to drive the car right now, even though it's a mess, but I think you guys have been there when you get it running just right and the car is like in a okay condition to like just go around the block and see how it feels, make sure everything looks good, car feels good, and then we can get back to, you know, get everything put away correctly so it looks good and there's not wires everywhere, so someone rides in here, they're not stepping on everything, and